A few months ago, I applied to be on the game show called Let's Make a Deal. If you're unfamiliar, it's a game show hosted by Wayne Brady, where you're given the opportunity to win things like cars, vacations, straight up just like money, jewelry. You can win like jet skis and stuff. I don't want to say like one of my pastimes, but from time to time, I have been known to just submit like random applications for game shows. It's one of those things that like anyone can do, and when you think of it from like a production standpoint, they do constantly need new and more people. If you've ever applied for any type of game show, you'll still get like, once they have your email, they will still send you requests to be on either a different show or to audition for that show a little later on. So I got picked for one, and I was on 3 episodes of Let's Make a Deal. So I just want to talk about how I got on, what the process was like, because even though I do a lot of YouTube and a lot of short films and stuff, I live in an area of the country where there's not like a big film scene. So seeing like how official, long-lasting running productions work is really valuable to me. And some disclosure, a little disclaimer here, I did not win anything. I was not even picked by Wayne Brady, but I was so close, it was so possible. I'm a big numbers guy, like I love statistics and probability, and usually on the show, they have a packed out audience, so tons of people in different type of colorful, vibrant costumes, trying to stand out in hope of being picked by Wayne Brady to participate. Because of COVID, they're not doing full audience, at least as of now. So they have a couple of people that are picked. It's like maybe 9 people on the stage in different outfits, and like, I wanna say 18 people from home. They basically zoom in 18 people at home, again, dressed in different outfits and silly outfits, trying to get Wayne Brady's attention so he'll pick you. So I was on the wall. I was one of those people. So I think in terms of probability, if Wayne Brady is going to be picking like, I don't know, 7, 8, 9 people, I have a relatively decent shot at being selected, as opposed to there being an entire full audience of people. Still low, still not likely, which in my case was not, but I think like half of the people on the wall were selected at one point. That's another thing. So we didn't shoot just 1 episode. We basically shot 3, but they released them in significant distances away. So you might watch the episode I was in, and the next, 14 episodes I'm not in it, and then the new episode that comes out, I'm in that one, to give the illusion that they're constantly cycling out these people on the screen, when really we've all probably been in multiple episodes. So I got a message back saying that they wanted to do a Zoom interview with me, which I'm like, oh wow, I've never gotten to this point before. So they scheduled it, and I got on, and it was this really nice guy basically just asking me these interview questions, and they were like, treat it like it's a job, like a job interview. So with your attire, your clothes, so I wore kind of business casual. I got on there, and they're really big about energy. It's daytime TV, you gotta be hyper and gotta be really crazy active. And that is kind of a challenge for me. I don't so much care about whether what I'm doing is embarrassing or not. I know there's gonna be an element of silliness, but he's like, act like you just won the big lottery, what are you gonna do? And I'm over here trying to be like, yeah, and I live in an apartment complex too, so I got people below me. So I'm trying to like not be very loud or obnoxious, and I am. So he's telling me he's one of the casting directors, casting producers, but he has to send it off for approval to like the actual producer, so he doesn't get to make the final decision. I kind of got the feeling it was one of those like Hollywood, don't call us, we'll call you type of situations, which is about what I was expecting. But he asked me, he was like, how often do you watch the show? And I made the mistake of saying something like, I don't really watch the show. And I thought that ruined it for me. I thought that they wouldn't let me, I thought somebody else, some other producer or something saw it, that if I said that, they were like, oh, he just wants to be on for TV or money or whatever. And I'm like, yeah, kind of. But even he jokingly was like, no, you're not supposed to say that. Don't do that. And I was like, oh yeah, no, I watch it all the time. I love it. That was really cool. It was really cordial. He seemed really nice. I don't know how much of it is like, I don't know, LA type of nice, or he's sincerely a nice guy. He came off sincere to me, but I don't know. But he was like, I want to move your application forward, and we'll definitely see and get back in touch with you. When I hear that kind of thing, I'm like, okay, you're not going to get in touch with me ever again. Okay, got it. A few weeks pass, kind of as I expected, and I was like, okay, I'm not gonna hear anything back. After my interview with that guy, it seemed more likely I was gonna be on the show. So then I started documenting everything from that point onward, which I'll be sharing here with you.
I was gonna film the whole process, but I actually never thought that they would pick me to be a part of it, so I was just sort of doing this behind the scenes. But I did have an interview with them a couple of weeks ago. From now on, I'm going to film the journey of being on Let's Make a Deal. I've never been on any game shows or done anything like this before, so this will be kind of a really interesting thing for me. I'm gonna channel my sort of inner Scott Kramer. A few weeks passed. Jen asked me if I'd heard anything from Let's Make a Deal. I said, no, probably not gonna be on it. But I got an email saying I'm scheduled for next Thursday's taping. I guess they're gonna do 2 to 3 episodes, and it's up to, I guess, Wayne Brady's discretion who he picks and when. So I might go through all this just be up there, not actually chosen, which may very well be the case. But as of now, they've asked me to submit a few things. They want a picture of me in costume and to fill out a questionnaire and to go from there. So that's what I'm gonna do. And luckily, because I'm a YouTuber, I have just a bunch of random costumes lying around. I don't think I can do anything straight up copyright, so I might have to mix and match here a little bit. Basically gonna be this sort of Goku Zoro combo. All I think I need is just to hide that. This feels like an abomination. How do I look? Would you pick me if you were Wayne Brady? Well, they said all the outfits are like homemade, so I don't think I can actually straight up be like, I'm Goku. So I'm trying to, I don't know.
Well, you talking about they have Waldo.
Yeah, but he's not wearing any, it's just a striped shirt though. I can't wear like Spider-Man's symbol and stuff. So I think this would be problematic, so I'm gonna cover it with a cape. So I'm not any one particular character, I'm an amalgamation. Should I throw on the wig and the hat? How's this one? These people have a lot of energy. I don't have that like Disney Channel energy they need. All the energy I have is gonna go into these 2 or 3 episodes they're gonna film. You still wanna marry me? Is it a no on the hat? Too much? No on the hat? Or just the hat? Should I get rid of the hair?
No, I actually like the hair.
All right, let me go send a picture of this to a producer in LA. Just took my picture and I'm gonna fill out their questionnaire and get this submitted. This is the start of one of the episodes we did where I happen to be smack dab in the middle, and you'll see me here.
It's time for Let's Make a Deal.
Oh, there I am. See, oh, there I am. You know what I did at one point? You know what? This is probably why I wasn't picked. I have this really awkward energy about me. Like whenever people are like, okay, we need you to do some fun stuff, and I get very like rigid. And I think I pulled this number at one point. I was like, hey guys, like, hey, like I was just very like sharp movements. And I'm pretty sure that could be interpreted as me doing like a Nazi salute, which when I was really just like, hey, pick me. I bet you anything, there's some producer that was like, hey, Wayne Brady, don't pick that white supremacist in that Japanese outfit. Don't do that. Because I'm totally like detached from like consciousness of like what my body's doing. I'm just like.
Right, guys, so the in-studio audience did get brought in.
Ooh.
So they can see you now. If you guys want to wave, say hello.
I'll also go ahead and link this episode in the description below. It's on the CBS website. I do know that they were uploading like full-length episodes on YouTube for a little while, but they just stopped like a month or 2 ago. Which, by the way, if we think ads on YouTube are bad, ads on sites like CBS.com, where they're like 90 to 120 seconds a piece, like every 5 minutes. It was tough for me to get through this and watch this episode. But if you'd like to see me just like periodically in the corner, you can do that here.
Well, let's go to one of our ad homies.
Oh, look at me, there I am. Oh, I look so awesome. Oh, this was another cool thing I totally didn't even realize. So, you know, they set up the car reveal and this like, you can get these purses and these things that are $5,000 retail value. Because we did 3 episodes, they don't like change them out. So I don't know what kind of deals they have with the companies, but like as the episodes would go along, in episode 1, somebody would win the shoes. Episode 2, somebody would win the shoes. And episode 3, somebody would win the shoes or whatever. So batch recording like this with the same prizes and then splitting them up over the course of the season makes it look like every episode there's always something new and something different. I'm not slamming that at all. I think that that's actually a really creative solution to a problem of there being obviously limited number of companies and people that will give you stuff for free for the advertising on the show or whatever arrangement they have with CBS. This was probably the big thing that kind of rubbed me the wrong way. They said multiple times like throughout their emails and like any type of correspondence, even though you're at home, you need to act as though you're actually there in studio, which means no sitting. They're like, if you're there and you're trying to get Wayne Brady's attention or whatever, or we would expect you to be standing up and being crazy and being silly and dancing along, because there's a lot of dancing on these daytime things. So I'm like, okay, I move my chair out of the way. I'll figure I'll be standing up the majority of, the whole day. And I think it was like me and like one other person were the only 2 people that were standing the whole time, and nobody said anything. Ended up standing like nonstop for like 9 hours or something just here. And they would give us breaks and whatnot, like little 15-minute breaks. But I'm like, why am I the only one standing? They put it in bold, like
like red letters, you know, as part of like the magic of the show to give the illusion that everyone's going crazy and stuff. And I'm the only one, like me and one other person are the only ones that are standing up. So that kind of sucked. If I were to do it again, I would have just sat down like everyone else. Felt kind of like a chump because of that, but it's whatever. So the way it works is we had a producer person that was like our direct contact point. If we had any questions about logistics or any technical things, we would reach out to them either through the email or we could talk to them over our little Zoom thing. So like an hour before taping, it was like me and like all these other people got on just to make sure like our webcams worked, to make sure our mics worked, to make sure we had like a good background. There were some people that would sit with like just in front of their wall, and so the producer would be like, can you put anything like there, like back there, like a lamp or a plant or like a picture or something, just so it's not so bland. And so a lot of it was that type of thing. One guy straight up dipped out when she was like, it's gonna be all day, it's gonna be like 8 hours, and he was like, I can't be here for 8 hours. I thought this was only gonna be like an hour and a half, 2 hour thing. When the show actually started, our producer person would tell us like, okay, we're about to do the intro of the show, so really high energy, really big energy, and that's like when everyone's going crazy and whatnot. And the really cool thing is that we were viewing it from like, I guess from their master control room. So we were seeing it like an actual episode of the show. So we see Wayne Brady there, we see the cameras cutting to different locations. And I almost forget that we were like a part of it because it was just like I was watching TV, which tells me that they do most of their editing on the spot. So there are a couple times where they'll do like a zonk, you know, where they pick something that, you know, they're trying to win a prize and it ends up being nothing, they lose everything. They would do like these camera, you know, a camera would move in on the zonk or the prize or whatever. And for the most part, they did them in real time. You could tell when the camera would come in, it would maybe kind of have a little bump or something. So we would wrap up to commercial break and then they would redo those shots, which was really cool because we got to see that happen live. There was one take I remember where Wayne Brady and Jonathan, I had to look at his name up, they had some sort of awkward exchange on purpose for Wayne Brady to like scurry off stage. And it's not scripted, so they tried to have this natural banter, but it didn't quite hit right. And it was obvious to me, and apparently it was obvious to the other producers on the show, because they were like, let's do that again. It was really interesting and fun to see Wayne Brady and Jonathan literally do this take like 5 or 6 times, and I don't know which one they ended up using, but that was something that was cool because you don't usually get to see that. Oh, another thing too, is like somebody's mic actually cut out. Somebody that was there on stage like was running up and just got selected and she was going crazy and her mic cut out. And so that was really interesting because you see them like cut and then like bring in these people, they fix the mic, because you don't ever see like that type of thing. As someone who is rife with technical issues, when I try to do any type of shoot, it's encouraging to see even like professional, long-lasting TV shows and game shows have these common everyday issues. So one thing that they preached about was like constantly moving around, just make sure you're moving and always doing something. And that was tiring. And they're like, you know, dance, try to get his attention. And I'm not a dancer. I don't like to do that type of thing, but I'm over here, I'm doing my best. You know what I think of? I think of Will Smith in Hitch, where he's trying to teach Kevin James how to dance. And he's like, you just live right here. This is home. This is where you live. I literally have internalized that because as a man with no sense of like rhythm, there are social situations and situations in life, like if you're on Let's Make a Deal, where you'll need to do something along those lines. You'll have to have some sort of motion or whatever, and I'm like Sheldon from Big Bang Theory. I'm like, this is comfortable. I'm relaxed. This is where this is home. So it was so much of that, and after the end of the day, especially not winning anything, I was really, really exhausted.
Just finished, and I am very itchy. All right.
They did say that they keep like track of people that have been on the show that they thought did a really great job, may have not been selected, but they would re-invite on the show later. I think one of the wall people was one of those cases, and he actually ended up getting selected for one of the episodes. So I was like, fingers crossed, I hope I did a good enough job where they will reselect me. I'd love to have another opportunity to win some vacation or something. But we shot this back in September, and I've yet to get any other correspondence. But the cool thing is, and I think what this shows is that anybody could be on the game show, because those other people that won, they're just regular everyday people, and they don't have to fly into California. They could do it straight at home. I don't know how much longer that's gonna last, so probability speaking, statistically speaking, your best chance of winning something on a game show like Let's Make a Deal would be now, before they revert back to a full audience. You know, I also applied to be on Survivor. I think that would be really fun. Jen and I, we went through a big Survivor phase, and I would love the opportunity. But I'm going to continue applying for game shows from time to time, and I would encourage you, if you think that that's something that would be fun or interesting, to go ahead and apply. All you have to do is look out like whatever game show you want to try and be on. Look up the game show casting, and they usually have just like a general email. It's not a very complicated thing, and then just fill out the information of the questionnaire to the best of your ability. And then you too can be on daytime TV on a main network looking like a freaking idiot, like I did, for nothing. But that's the end, guys. I appreciate you so much for sticking around and watching this video. If you have any questions about it, I may have forgotten. This might be one of those cases where I was like, oh my gosh, I totally can't believe I forgot to talk about that in the video. Leave me a comment down below. I'll do my best to get back to it. Subscribe if you want to see more fun content like this. I love to do these little one-off commentary videos from time to time. I also do a lot of movie reviews and a lot of movie reactions with my fiance Jen and my good friend Matt. So there's a lot of pop culture movie talk on the channel, and that's always a lot of fun. So I encourage you to come and participate in that as well. And of course, make sure you check out my Patreon, where you'll get early access to select videos, as well as other behind the scenes and exclusive stuff. And as always, I appreciate you watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. Take care.